Hi students, this is Jeopardy for your 2929B Biology Discovery Education class. I'm going to be going really quickly because I only have 15 minutes on YouTube to be making this. In this review session, you might have to go back and watch a few times even though I'm talking quickly. The actual study guide is on the test, so you can click on that in the last module. You will not be able to get into the test until you go to a proctored facility at the end of your semester or term, and or you can schedule time with your EF to go in and take your test with them, and they will give you the code to get in. These will be the topics on the test: genetics, transcription and translation, genetic engineering, evolution, and the human body. There'll be a total of 30 questions on the test, and this PowerPoint will go over 26 of them. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Which of the following is not true? Now here I didn't show you all of the choices, so you just have to know that this is a question about genotype, phenotype, and you just have to know not true. The way an organism looks and behaves is its genotype, and you know that's actually phenotype. The next one, female and male sex cells are called. The correct answer is gametes. If a person has a straight hairline, no widow's peak, which is considered a recessive trait, you would know that their genotype is WW. Little w, okay? That's important. All right, the process where enzymes make an RNA copy of a portion of a DNA strand are called transcription. Which of these is correctly matches the nitrogenous based adenine in DNA? And adenine A always matches with T, thymine. This is such a long one. A molecular biologist identifies a unique sequence of DNA in people who have difficulty secreting tears and nasal mucus. Using a tool called BLAST, the investigator compares the affected DNA to a reference sequence. Based on his results, he concludes that a point mutation has occurred on the DNA that codes for the antibody Immunoglobulin A. Which of the following conclusions is most likely supported by the data? And that is that the mutation caused an incorrect amino acid to be synthesized. That's probably one that you're grateful that you'll have the answer to. Why must the RNA strand be read in only one direction during translation? That is because the codons would be different if read from the other direction, which would synthesize a different protein. So think about reading a book backwards, it just wouldn't even make sense. A ring of DNA found in a bacterial cell is called a plasmid. And blank are bacterial proteins that have the ability to cut both strands of the DNA molecule at a specific nucleotide sequence, and that is restriction enzymes. Which of the following is not an example of genetic engineering? Using a bone from a pig to repair human bone. When you're replacing bone to bone, you're not engineering something new. You're basically just trying to replace something similar and hope it takes within the body. So genetic engineering, genetic engineering would be more like using the genes to grow or build something new. Okay, what are some of the ethical concerns associated with genetic engineering? Parents may be able to change the appearance of their children before they are born, and I'm so sorry that was cut off. The next one, which of the following pairs represent homologous structures? Homologous structures meaning that they're somewhat similar, even though evolutionarily they're not related at all. A cat paw and a human hand. You know, they still have finger-like things and they serve a purpose, but not related at all. All right. Fossils show, let me go to the next ones. Fossils show that ancestors of the giraffe had shorter necks than the modern giraffe. The evolution of the modern giraffe might be an example of directional selection. Ancient organisms that lived during closer time periods were more alike than organisms that lived in widely separated time periods. What evidence in the fossil record most directly supports that claim? Fossils found in adjacent rock layers are generally more like each other than fossils found in widely spaced layers. Probably because during Earth's time period, there were certain things going on and certain adaptations were helpful at that time period. A rancher wants to investigate the use of artificial selection in his cattle herd. Which of these options is an example of artificial selection? Artificial selection would be breed a cow that produces large quantities of milk with a bull that comes from a line of cattle with long lifespans. So you have a long living cow that makes a lot of milk. That would be you artificially selecting the offspring. Which names and best describes the main blood vessel that leaves the left ventricle? That would be the aorta. It's a thick-walled artery that blood flows through on the way through the body. A patient has a blood pressure of 165/80. What do these numbers indicate about the patient's blood pressure? It is too high when the ventricles contract. So that higher number, when those ventricles contract, that blood pressure is going out of control every time. That's not good. All right, what component of blood is correctly matched with its function? And then it's going to have some choices. Basically, the white blood cells, they fight infection by pathogens. What causes the characteristic lub-dub sound of the human heartbeat? Contractions of the atria and then ventricles of the heart. Which of the following is a pathway of healthy blood flow? There's going to be some choices, but you're going to pick right atrium, right ventricle, and then to the lungs. Under a microscope, a sample of muscle tissue is observed to have striations and multiple nuclei in each cell. Most likely this tissue is a sample of muscles in the leg that control movement. What type of muscle is found in the digestive tract? That is smooth muscle. Why are there more mitochondria in muscle cells than in any other type? Remember, mitochondria make energy, so muscle cells need more ATP for muscles to contract. A patient has lost 50% of her muscle mass. Which of the following is unlikely to cause this condition? Excessive exercise causing weight loss. So, basically, a lot of exercise, even though she lost weight, a lot of exercise during that weight loss is not going to cause her to lose that muscle. What two types of muscle are responsible for moving blood around the body? The answer is skeletal and smooth. And on to our final Jeopardy. When you bend your elbow, what body systems are working together? That would be your skeletal, muscular, and nervous. So that concludes our presentation. So I hope you guys